Hello, welcome to the CalmEffect Mythbusters edition. That's right, today we're going to break down all of the most common myths and misconceptions about medical marijuana use in 2020. As with any big change, in 2020 the decriminalization of cannabis comes with various growing pains. No matter what you believe, there are still a lot of myths surrounding cannabis that we need to sort out before we can have an honest conversation about it. So let's get started. Marijuana does not have medicinal uses. We know very little about medical applications of cannabis since it has been illegal for so long and research was repressed for many years. However, every new study indicates marijuana can be used as legitimate medicine. The FDA recently recognized 3 drugs from marijuana as treatments for seizures and chemo relief. In 2020, there are more than 2.5 million medical marijuana patients in the U.S. In order to be recognized as patients, most of them need to suffer from seizures, untreatable pain, or one of a few very serious medical conditions outlined on a state-by-state basis. Medical marijuana is an excuse to get high. It's possible to make medicine with CBD and THC that does not have any intoxicating effect while retaining medical benefits. THC and CBD can increase appetite, reduce nausea, pain and inflammation, help muscle control problems and epileptic seizures, and possibly even treat mental illness and addictions. Marijuana is dangerous. According to the World Health Organization, the acute toxicity of cannabis is very low, and there are no confirmed cases of human deaths from cannabis poisoning. In addition, the negative health effects of cannabis have been primarily tied to heavy daily use. The effects of occasional use are uncertain and not conclusively demonstrated. Cannabis causes cancer. There is no medical proof of this assertion, and cannabis seems to have an overall positive effect on health. The National Academy of Science in 2017 found no statistically significant association between smoking cannabis and cancer. Further research still needs to be led to have a better understanding of the issue. Consuming marijuana damages the lungs. Lung damage due to smoking marijuana by itself has not been proven. The WHO found that reports of lung damage fall short of providing evidence because they were uncontrolled, and many cases also used alcohol and tobacco. In addition, there are ways to consume cannabis without smoking it, which does not affect the lungs at all. Cannabis is too dangerous as a medicine. Cannabinoids possess an impressive safety profile. According to the National Academy of Sciences, marijuana possesses a dependence liability of less than 10%. Cannabinoids are relatively non-toxic and possess no lethal overdose potential. In its natural form, it's one of the safest active substances known to man. Medical marijuana hasn't been subjected to enough scientific study. Cannabis has been consumed for medicinal and recreational purposes for thousands of years, thus providing ample evidence of the plant's relative safety. Despite the government's nearly century-long ban of the herb, marijuana is nonetheless among the most studied active substances of modern times. There are more than 21,000 scientific studies referencing the plant and its constituents, nearly half of which have been published within the past decade. This sum is greater than the total number of scientific papers available for ibuprofen, Ritalin, hydrocodone, Adderall, and oxycodone combined. There aren't sufficient clinical trials evaluating marijuana's safety. A review of available literature identifies over 100 controlled studies worldwide involving thousands of subjects, evaluating the safety and efficacy of cannabis. By contrast, most FDA-approved pharmaceuticals are approved based on only 2 pivotal trials. A recent review of FDA-approved medical marijuana concluded, based on evidence currently available, the Schedule I classification for cannabis is not tenable. It is not accurate that cannabis has no medical value or that information on safety is lacking. No major medical or health organizations support medical marijuana. Numerous organizations, such as the American Nurses Association, the American Public Health Association, and the Epilepsy Foundation of America, support allowing qualified patients to legally access cannabis therapy. Nearly 70% of doctors acknowledge the therapeutic qualities of cannabis. Medical cannabis laws are associated with increased crime. Investigators tracked crime rates across 50 states between 1990 and 2006, during which time 11 states legalized medical cannabis access. The study found that medical marijuana legalization is not predictive of higher crime rates and may be related to reductions in rates of homicide and assault. Similarly, a 2012 federally commissioned study found the establishment of cannabis dispensaries is not associated with elevated rates of either violent crimes or property crimes. It found that there were no observed cross-sectional associations between dispensaries and either violent or property crime rates. Medical cannabis laws increase use by adolescents. Researchers at Rhode Island Hospital and Brown University assessed the impact of cannabis laws over a 20-year period by examining trends in self-reported drug use by high schoolers before and after legalization. The study found no increases in marijuana use among high school students that may be attributed to the policies. No medicine is smoked. Patients inhale many conventional medications such as anti-asthma drugs. These patients inhale them for largely the same reasons as do cannabis smokers. They require rapid onset of effect, they desire the flexibility to self-regulate their dosage, and the medication they are administering lacks lethal overdose potential. Cannabis isn't medicine because it's not approved by the FDA. The FDA evaluates patented synthetic products developed by private companies. It generally does not evaluate naturally occurring products such as cannabis. Humans have consumed cannabis for thousands of years and it possesses an adequate safety profile. Cannabis exceeds the FDA's existing standards for safety. Cannabis growers are drug dealers. One of the biggest misconceptions, the image of people who grow cannabis. Oftentimes, they are still considered dangerous drug runners when in reality, they're really just farmers. Cannabis is often grown on picturesque land without pesticides, and their products are put through rigorous tests for quality, potency, and purity by state labs. In 2020, we are in the middle of a cannabis revolution. Slowly but surely, the plant, which was once dispensed at U.S. pharmacies and used as legitimate medicine as recently as the 1930s, has fought its way back into a positive light after years of being maligned as a dangerous, corrupting influence. State by state, we are joining the long list of countries who have embraced its healing powers and stopped jailing people for growing, selling, and using it. In the coming years, we will likely see cannabis embraced by more states, medical institutions, patients, and politicians. Regardless of where you stand on cannabis legalization, it's important to know the facts and dispel common myths so we can all make the most informed decisions possible. Here at CalmEffect, we are dedicated to bringing you all the information you need in 2020 and beyond. If you have additional questions, please visit our website at CalmEffect.com. We are now offering $99 doctor's appointments so you can obtain the relief you deserve at an affordable price. CalmEffect. Start living your best life today.